I joined HBC as a camper in 2005 when I was 8 years old. That was about 3 years after my injury. My burn was a result of abuse, and I was forced into a bathtub with very hot water, and I was scalded, which resulted in burns on my feet, and I had a skin graft as well from my thigh, which has a very large scar.
At the age of 3, I was in a house fire. The blanket that I was wrapped in had knocked into a candle that I actually lit myself because I was scared of the dark. And so that blanket had engulfed in flames, and I was stuck inside of it. Basically, they were told that I was not going to make it and that they should be making arrangements, essentially.
This is my friend, Caleb.
One day, I wanted to start a fire. My dad was out mowing, and my mom was inside, and just really wanted to start a fire. So I snuck out and went to I had a big burn barrel out back, and I had start a leaf on fire and kind of just wanted to get it going. And I'd put more sticks in, and it just didn't take off. And so I got into our shed, and on the top shelf, really high up, there was a can of lighter fluid, and I couldn't get to it. It was just too high up. So I grabbed the gas can that was close to our where we filled the mower up at, and just thinking, oh, this is the same type of stuff. So when I went back to the burn barrel, I started to pour in the gasoline, and the flame that had been lit on the leaf exploded. So all that gas and the flames went up into the can and it exploded right beside me. So I was holding it with my right arm, and that's why most of my scars are on my right arm.
So I came to camp about 3 years after my injury, and at that point, it was kind of just a part of me, but we had conversations in my house trying to process it. My parents did the best they could, but it's different coming and seeing kids who are like me. I didn't really comprehend that there were so many other kids like me.
Being burned at such a young age, it allowed me to kind of have that experience going into that next season of life that, I do know how to overcome trauma and difficulty and know how to rise up out of that.
I genuinely am completely blessed that we had the accident that we did, and I would never in a million years take it back. I wouldn't have half the friends that I do, the second family, the experiences, the rewarding experiences of these kiddos, looking up to you and just finding out the impact you make from them as you grow older. I would never change it.
Every year until the time I was 18, I was a camper. I was here, and yeah, I loved it so much. I came back, and I've now been a counselor. I think this is my 7th year.
So I think as counselors that were campers, it shows them that, we've kind of been there, we've done that. And so it gives them someone to kind of look up to.
I'm a big believer in giving back into things that, makes people who they are. And Hoosier Bird Camp definitely was that for me.
You're a lot more selfless as a counselor. You're doing your best to give the campers a great experience. And whereas as a camper, you're trying to have that fun. You're out there, you're doing it for yourself because this is your space. But as a counselor, it's their space. Hoosier Burn Camp is the reason behind all of my achievement.